All right, we ready to check out Ali Dawah's powerful Dawah response?
Yeah. Uh,
After his response, you'll want to just fall on your knees and become a Muslim.
yeah. What really is going to happen is everyone out there, I see all the prayer hands and people getting really touched by that. You're going to be really enraged by how this guy responds. It's like trigger warning. He's gonna really upset a lot of people. But that's why we're here. We're going to try to turn some of that pain into laughter at Muhammad.
Oh, I think we can. Let's see what we got here.
We weren't able to communicate with Dad really all of September. My mom misses her best friend and husband.
What about the Gazans, man? They have families as well, like
Oh,
you. They have families like you. What
I told you, I wasn't joking. This guy, dude, it's her dad. It's her grandfather who just died. It's her baby daughter that
Can,
she thought was gonna die multiple times.
can you imagine? I mean, this could have been like a guy and his wife driving down the road, and a drunk driver slams into them, and the woman dies, and the guy's covered in blood. And he says, "Oh my goodness, that's my wife." And Ali Dawah would like spring up. Yo, but what about the Gazans? Why are you worried about your wife bleeding all over you? Yeah, what about the Gazans? What a lunatic, man.
Absolutely insane.
about them? Look how emotional you are. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters and dear friends. I don't like to be upset, or I mean, be happy about anyone's misery, unless they're Zionists.
Oh
Yes,
wow!
I'll be honest with you. It's not that something that is like
I forgot he said that.
Yeah, so he didn't want to celebrate anyone's pain and so on unless they're Zionists.
And you know what he means by that? He means
Jews
Jews
or their support.
Jews.
and their supporters. Yeah,
Jews and anyone who don't want to kill all the Jews, yeah.
that's right.
That's it.
Ali Dawah, ladies and gentlemen.
something that I celebrate like this type. But I'll be honest, I don't mourn it at all. And who is this? No other than Jordan Peterson. Yes? And I'm most certainly not mourning it at all. It doesn't faze me at the least. Even if I'm not happy about it, I'll be honest with you, I'm not sad about it at all. I'm so damn far away from being sad ever. Yes? Okay, I'm more close to happiness than sadness. Why? Because
He said I'm closer to happiness than to sadness.
this man,
It's like a little kid, like you know how you have like they have like these little sticker, like these faces. Like, which emotion are you feeling? Are you feeling this face or this face? And I was like, I'm closer to
Yo,
the
it's like
happy face.
happiness, and we got sadness, but that don't be the same thing, yeah. And you got to pick one, yeah. You got to pick because they can't be both because there's different shapes, yeah.
But didn't he say that he wasn't even if he wasn't happy about it? And I thought, okay, so you're not happy about it. Oh wait, it doesn't bother me at all. Okay, so you're neutral. Oh wait, I'm actually closer to happier than sad.
Like the guy can't
Uh,
keep a consistent thought for like more than a second.
what's wrong with? Why can't he just say happy or sad? What's wrong with these people?
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean,
it
this just shows you like the evil side of humanity right here. This is what happens when people are just given into their sin and they're just hardened and hardened and hardened and just over and over and over again. They become callous to like Ali Dawah. Like he just becomes joy. He's happy about people suffering, and the Bible literally says in the book of Proverbs not to rejoice when your enemy falls, for example. Or God himself says, I take no pleasure. God himself saying, I take no pleasure in the death of the wicked in Ezekiel 18. I take no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but rather that they turn. O house of Israel, why don't you turn and live? And so that's the heart of God. And this is like Ali Dawah was the heart of Allah, I guess.
and back to the whole prophet thing. This is a guy who doesn't know how many ozone layers there are, but he knows what Allah is thinking at any given time. Got to be a prophet.
is such a shameless man. Anyone on this planet Earth that condones the killing of innocent men, women, and children, you are psychologically and mentally unstable. If you make excuses for innocent men, women, and children being massacred, you are out of your mind. I don't care if you're a Muslim, Christian, whatever you are. If I saw a Christian genocide happening, and I'm just like, oh yeah, but it's just the Muslims are doing it, so I'll turn a blind eye, I'm sick in the head.
Huh?
Wait, what?
Whoa.
Wait,
I think he just told us he's sick in the head.
Yep. Never mentioned the genocide of any Christian genocide.
Yeah, he's, by the way, this guy is Kurdish, by the way. I don't know if has anyone ever heard him talking about the genocide committed on the Armenians, Assyrians, the Greeks by his Kurdish people that the Ottoman Empire used. Has he ever talked about that? Okay, maybe it's okay, that's historical, like, you know, maybe. But what about today in Nigeria? Does he say anything? Has he made any video? Has he? According to him, he's sick in the head because he doesn't talk about it.
Everyone catch that? He said, if there was a genocide against Christians somewhere, I wouldn't ignore it just because it's Muslims doing it. I would have to speak out or I would be sick in the head. Okay. Genocide against Christians in Nigeria, check. Carried out by Muslims, check. He's keeping his mouth shut, check. And the conclusion to draw is what? Sick in the head.
Sick in the head?
Ali Dawah, sick in the head. We got the proof.
And by the way, when he says condoning of innocent men, women, and children being killed, that's based on the October 7th tweet that we just read. All of that is based off of that. So Jordan Peterson saying "Give him hell, Netanyahu" is Ali Dawah's. So Ali Dawah doesn't only interpret Allah's thoughts, but he interprets Jordan Peterson's thoughts. Jordan Peterson knew about everything that would come to happen in the future. He knew about every innocent person, and he's condoning everything. That's what Ali Dawah is suggesting here.
But wait, isn't his rule is to look at suffering and think, what about the Palestinian children, Gazan children? So he would look at any Christian genocide and say, what about the Palestinian Gaza?
That's true. And it's just weird because he's saying anyone who thinks of like even your own dad and if you aren't instead freaking out about Gaza, then you're a horrible, evil person. You deserve what you get. But again, you could use that exact same. We could say, well, why should we be concerned about that when there's this over here? Look what's happening in Nigeria. There's no. Yeah. It's Ali Dawah seems exactly the same as Muhammad in that whatever my desire tell me at something, whatever my desires tell me at any given point, whatever I feel like I want at any given point, that's what I'm going to find. That's what I'm going to find. So with Muhammad, it's, I want my adopted son's wife. I got a revelation justifying it and so on. Ali Dawah's not really claiming to receive revelations, but he's just interpreting everything to fit with whatever he wants. Weird stuff. Weird religion.
Yep.
Ali Dawah.
I'm a sicko, and our religion doesn't teach us that.
That was perfect. I'm a sicko.
Nice clip. That's a good clip right there.
That's a good clip.
Morally consistent, not strategically. We don't say, how does that benefit us? We're morally consistent. So, guys, here's a video.
Morally consistent.
His daughter, I haven't forgotten her name. What's her name? Mikhail. I don't know that.
Ali Dawah, you're morally consistent. You just said that for anything anyone points to, even if it's their, her grandfather, her father, her baby, whoever, if they're concerned about that and they say anything about it, they can't do that because they should be complaining about what's going on with people in Gaza, right? And you're morally consistent, right? You just said it. You're morally consistent. Well, what have we been pointing out to you? We've been pointing out to you that if we agreed with you and we were consistent, then for any suffering you point to in Gaza, we could say, what about that suffering somewhere else? And we shouldn't care even slightly. We could say, how dare you complain about Gaza when this Eskimo's igloo fell on him and you didn't even complain about that? How dare you? You see how that works, Ali Dawah, when you're consistent?
And don't forget, part of Allah logic is the death of one, which he steals from the Talmud, but the death of one innocent equals all mankind. So even if you can find one, like you said, one innocent Eskimo who gets killed, that's equal to every single Palestinian, right? So that's Allah logic there. And unless you want to say that, it doesn't actually matter. The numbers matter. Well, numbers don't matter to Allah. He says one equals the whole world. Mm-hmm. He's stealing it from the Talmud, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Well, if he wants to say consistent, all groups of people should be equal, their suffering. By always mentioning the Gaza and suffering and making it weightier and heavier and more tragic than anyone else's suffering, he's being inconsistent. He puts it all together in the same thing, and he doesn't see the inconsistency and the contradiction.
I'm starting to think maybe he's not the pillar of consistency that he thinks he is.
He isn't.
And he also says, like, we get this from our religion. When it was Muhammad himself who was like, expel all the Jews and Christians from Arabia, get rid of them all. He's like, yeah, we're morally consistent. We don't. That, by the way, that's genocide. When you expel entire communities of people based on their religion or ethnicity, whatever it is, that's genocide. You're erasing them from the Arabian Peninsula. And he's like, yeah, we condemn that we're morally consistent. No, you're not, because your prophet actually committed genocide. That's a definition of genocide. One of the definitions, yeah.
Let's watch it for ourselves and let's see what's the condition of the man who said, give them hell. Let's see if Allah gave him hell or is giving him hell. And we ask him, and it's not never too late for him to turn to Islam, Michaela Peterson, yes? Which is...
You're making a bang-up case for Islam right now, Ali Dawah, if you want her to convert.
Oh, boy.
I mean,
these guys, like...
I mean, think, what have the Petersons had from Ali Dawah and Muhammad Hijab? From Muhammad Hijab quoted the Quran in Arabic to Jordan Peterson, and then he said, but Muslims are very strong, it expanded rapidly, so it must be from God. And Jordan Peterson said, well, why didn't it work in Europe then? Well, it didn't work there then. Allah's not really God in Europe. And so they had that, and now you see Allah destroying your dad for a tweet, yeah? He's doing it, and I know it. As a prophet, you still got time to convert to this beautiful religion, yeah?
So wait, if they convert to the beautiful religion, will they be cured? I don't remember Muhammad curing a blind man or a leper or anyone converting to his religion. Is that the answer? If they convert to Islam now, will everyone be healed? Just a question.
Muhammad known for his powerful, wonder-working miracles.
And it's not never too late for him to turn to Islam, Michaela Peterson, yes? It was another Islamophobe, I'll be honest with you, who's sitting and sharing platform with absolute morons, yes?
Oh, she had Muhammad Hijab on there. Yeah, you're right.
That'd be great. You put like a screenshot
And
of
so
like,
did her dad.
Yeah.
It's another little clip, yeah.
Both her and her dad sat with Muhammad Hijab, his Dawah husband.
Yeah, Dawah husband.
Like that flipping dumb clown, Apus. But anyways, let's go.
Hey guys, I have an update on my dad.
I didn't know he mentioned AP.
Yeah,
AP's
fine.
like living in these guys' minds rent free. Like he's talking about Jordan Peterson. AP comes to his mind.
Yeah, that was like Muhammad Hijab talking to that MMA dude about Andrew Tate, and he's like, "But we shouldn't push on him. What do you want him to do? Turn into the next David Wood?"
Wow.
She's just going to read this. It's on my teleprompter because this is too hard to explain off the cuff, so I wrote it out. This summer has been exceedingly difficult. Dad was in an ICU suffering from pneumonia and sepsis after dealing with a host of neurological issues this summer that we believe stem from CIRS, which is chronic inflammatory response syndrome due to decades of mold exposure. We don't have a better explanation for his neurological symptoms at the moment other than spiritual attacks.
Interesting. Spiritual attacks. I don't know what she means by that. Spiritual attacks.
You know, Ali Dawah, like when that magician got a hair from your prophet's hairbrush and used it to cast a spell on him and gave him delusional thoughts and false beliefs for between 6 months and 2 years. That, right?
Yeah.
And also, if it is a spiritual attack, which Ali Dawah doesn't know because Muslims don't know what that means. If it's a spiritual attack and Allah is the one causing it, that makes Allah Satan. Because spiritual attacks come from Satan and his fallen angels.
Yeah, she's making it.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, guys, when Christians reference spiritual attacks, they mean the devil is attacking, right? That's what we mean when we say
Yeah,
spiritual
not
attack.
not
and
God
he's saying-
attacking me.
And he's saying Allah's attacking.
It's like, hey, it would be like she could have said it slightly differently and been like, we have no other explanation besides demonic attack. And he'd be like, yeah, that'd be Allah, yeah? Allah be the one that be doing that demonic attack, isn't it?
Yep, that's why he said he doesn't know what it means, because the fake prophet didn't know if it existed and didn't know what it meant,
I mean, he didn't know the difference between Allah and Satan.
and Allah didn't protect him from being bewitched.
That's right.
That's true.
What do you mean by that? Because I really want to understand, what do you mean by spiritual attacks? Because at the end of the day, I mean, can it be a divine punishment? Most certainly. Because do you really believe the divine God Almighty is happy with any servant of his? They can be Christian, whatever for that matter. Yeah, all his servants.
Servant?
Do you think he is happy with any servant of him that says, give them hell to innocent men, women, and children who are in the biggest prison, open air prison in the world, who've been...
Yeah, everyone, Jai's already pointed this out, but pay attention to it. Just said it right there. So what did Jordan Peterson say after a bunch of terrorists went and slaughtered a bunch of people? He said, give them hell. Ali Dawah just said it again. He's promoting the killing of innocent men, women, and children. So when Jordan Peterson said, give them hell, he was referring to the innocent civilians.
Massacred for decades. And do you think God's going to be happy with that person? Do you think that person's going to prosper? Do you not see IDF soldiers saying they're losing their mind and they see nightmares and they're suicidal? Do you think you're just going to get away? Do you think Allah says in the Quran?
Oh yeah,
do you think Allah is unaware?
What's up?
So he just referenced IDF soldiers, losing their minds, being suicidal and things, and he thinks that that's also part of Allah's punishment.
Huh.
Does he know? Like you find suicide rates in any. Yeah. You think someone else who tried to commit suicide? I mean,
That's what I was thinking. So
yeah.
if you're doing something and then it causes you to become suicidal, that means that it's all evil and stuff. But that was Muhammad's reaction to his encounter with the angel Gabriel in the cave.
Oh.
Made him depressed and suicidal. Huh. Huh.
Yeah.
So wait. So he says that would have to be divine punishment, right?
Yeah, that's what he's suggesting.
Okay.
But he's saying that, do you think that a servant of God will say something like give him hell? So a servant of God wouldn't want bad on anyone, but he just wants bad on Jordan Peterson and his family, though.
Yeah, so you can only want bad on certain people, I guess, according to Ali Dawah, if you want to keep them any level of consistency, which is really hard to do.
I'm just trying to keep consistent.
But you could go to any military in the world, and you're gonna find soldiers with PTSD. You're gonna find soldiers with suicidal tendencies or soldiers who have committed suicide. Like the fact that he thinks that this is like like an own, or like, oh, there's a couple IDF soldiers who are suffering, or there's a lot of them, or whoever, even if it was half of the IDF, does that mean that God's punishing them? It's like when people suffer from PTSD, it's because of the traumas of war and like seeing things that we shouldn't see as humans, things that we shouldn't have ever seen. And he's thinking that this is divine punishment. I mean, I'm sure Muhammad had all sorts of PTSD from maybe he enjoyed it. I don't know. Maybe he had this different type of temperament where he enjoyed that kind of stuff. But there's Muslims, I'm sure there's Muslims that have suffered with PTSD and Muslims who have suicidal tendencies or committed suicide. Does that mean Allah's punishing them too?
According to Ali Dawah, yes.
At all. Yeah, he's just not consistent at all.
What the evildoers do. He only delays it for a day. That their eyes are going to look in horror. So either they get punishment in this life or the hereafter, or both.
He's been suffering for the last number of years with unexplainable neuropathy and weakness, amongst other symptoms.
Unexplainable. Interesting. I wonder what it is. I wonder what it is.
It's got to be Allah punishing him for the tweet, yeah? It got to be. It's weird. Allah started like pre-punishing him for years earlier because he's been having these problems and almost died before.
Oh, so Allah like preempted the tweet.
Predated the tweet.
Yeah, he's
he did like someone mentioned the 7-day war. It's like the preemptive strike on Egypt's.
So let alone the actual war.
He preempted
Allah is just focusing, zeroing in on Jordan Peterson,
it. And he mentioned Netanyahu, by the way.
punishing him for years for a tweet he was going to do about the thing that Allah actually cares about, which is continents away
Interesting.
and years
Wow.
away.
That Allah is cold as ice.
He's the best of planners.
Like,
He's the
oh,
worst of planners. If that's his plan to defeat Israel,
I'm punishing
Oh, yeah,
you
that's
for
another point.
I'm
Like,
punishing
how
you
is
for a
it gonna-
tweet that you're going to do 3 years from now. But how am I going to know what it's about? You won't. Ha ha! Tricked you. You'll never know until Ali Dawah tells you. Oh, sorry about that.
There's also Muslims that are pro-Israel. Like he often blasts this one Israeli Arab Muslim who is pro-Israel. And where's Allah's curse on him? I mean, this guy is actually a Muslim, so he, I don't know if they have higher standards for Muslims or lower standards. I don't know. I guess Dawah guys don't really care
what
about that
about
kind
all
of
the
stuff.
Muslim nations around Israel who do deals with them?
Oh yeah, Jordan, Egypt, all these peace treaties,
Oh,
and
yeah.
They're
Why not them?
all chummy with Israel, and
the Abraham Accords.
they're on the border. Egypt could let in some of these Palestinians and help them, or at least let aid go through. They're not struck with anything.
Yeah, everyone, here's the real trick that idiots fall for from people like Ali Dawah. So you say something happens, and here are all the bad people. That's a bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. Him be a bad guy too. Oh yeah, him a bad guy. Oh, him said this. Him said that. Him said this. Him said that. You just everyone's bad. Well, guess what? Something's eventually going to happen to someone there. And as soon as it does, you go, oh, you see, I told you, I told you that this would be Allah punishing him, yeah. And that's how it works. You can do that. We can do that with the Dawah guys, right? We can do that with the Dawah guys right now and say, you see, God's cursing the Dawah guys. And all we have to do is sit here and wait till something happens to one of them. Go, you see, we told you ahead of time. This is powerful stuff. Check the comments.
This is how
check
they win
on
Mubahalas.
Oh yeah, they do. Eventually something happens, right?
Yeah, like someone catches a cold or something like that. Like, see,
This is the proof.
But if we wanted to go down that way, we will win. Do you remember Didat? What happened to him? He had a rare brainstem stroke that usually kills, but it didn't. It muted him for 9 years, and he used that mouth to go against the Lord Jesus, specifically, and against Christians. If I wanted to draw these conclusions, guess who'll win?
Yeah.
Just saying.
because we can go to Muhammad himself, his own prophet. So if
Rough
they really
life.
want to say, oh, what about this Christian who suffered? What about this Christian who suffered? What about this? What about Jordan Peterson? What about this?
What about when Muhammad was poisoned by a Jew?
Uh-huh.
Where was Allah there? That was worse than a tweet.
Yeah, and so you can think of Muhammad's childhood, very traumatic, loses every close relationship he has for the first 8 years of his life. Then gets married and so on. Supposedly, over time, has, I think, 4 boys. All of them die between infanthood and childhood. What were they being punished for, Ali Dawah?
Yeah.
What were they being punished for? And then he gets older, causes a bunch of problems, drinks some poison because he's stupid, and dies a horrible, horrible, agonizing death such that Aisha could say she never saw anyone suffer more than Muhammad. So, Ali Dawah, what are we supposed to conclude? We could conclude stuff happens to people, or we could conclude that this is Allah's punishment.
Interesting. Like Ali Dawah would say, interesting. I wonder why. Interesting.
That's interesting, but it don't be interesting as this, right? But you gotta love Dawah.
No, it's
I'm gonna have to learn.
divine punishment.
What's that?
I'm gonna have to learn that impression. I'm trying to perfect it. My voice can't go high enough
Or Ali Dawah.
for Ali Dawah. Yeah. Ali Dawah's voice is higher than any female's.
It is. Sounds like a leprechaun.
I'll be honest with you.
But they worsened this summer after he cleaned out his parents' basement after his dad, my grandpa, passed away. We weren't able to communicate with Dad really all of September. During the end of the pneumonia, he was diagnosed with critical illness polyneuropathy, which we're hoping is critical illness myopathy, which is bad enough. That's been heartbreaking and brutal on top of everything else. But after almost a month in the ICU, he's been moved out to a less urgent floor.
Was it heartbreaking for you? Did you ever come out to speak against the Zionist regime and what they're doing to the Gazan people? It was heartbreaking for you. Your dad, who's old enough, lived his life. If he passed away, okay, I understand he's your father. Yes, he's lived his life, whatever. But have you come out once and condemned the Zionists and the IDF? Huh? When those innocent babies were being blown into pieces, where their mothers were picking up their limbs and identifying them by their limbs, did you come out as a woman and say there's women being massacred?
So following this reasoning, if you didn't come out and say something about something bad that was happening, then you can no longer be upset by anything else bad that has ever happened. So guess what, Ali Dawah? Following your reasoning right here, no one can ever be upset about anything. Because pick any person on the planet, there isn't one single person that has called out every bit of terrible suffering in the world.
Yeah.
Hasn't.
So whenever Muhammad, his false prophet, complained about his suffering, Ali Dawah should have gotten all this time travel teleporter thing and went back and said, well, why are you doing that? Why are you complaining about your suffering? You should be condemning the suffering of the Palestinians that are going to be happening in the 1400 years from now. Yeah, this is just crazy. And he also like slipped in a comment there like, yeah, your dad's old enough. It doesn't really matter if he dies or not. Like, isn't Jordan Peterson like 60?
60, that's young.
He's like,
He's not lived his life yet.
like people die in like their like 90s, like their 80s or 90s. He's like, oh yeah, he's 60. Yeah, he's lived long enough. It's like,
Well, he's thinking that because that's how he has to think about Muhammad, right? Because Muhammad died at 63.
Oh, yeah.
So that's plenty of time, isn't it?
Oh boy.
But the thing is, this suffering involves a baby as well and a grandfather who died. So most people would just go to work, come home, have a cup of tea in the evening maybe, and not everyone can come out and say bad things about Zionism or disavow the Zionists. So are you saying that these normal people, when something bad happens to them, we can't feel bad for them because they didn't go out on a crusade against something that has nothing to do with them on the other side of the world? These people are suffering in Canada. It's a family suffering in Canada. Jordan Peterson is the only one that's really that prominent. And it was one tweet that didn't say who, give him hell, who them is. Something so vague. Right on the day that people's emotions were high after a massacre. So.
Yeah. And by the way, they also like sneak in a bunch of obviously assumptions and how they frame this whole thing anyway. Like they always say there's like a genocide happening, which is a complete myth. It's a complete lie. And everything. And he's just going to be repeating that tweet over and over again. Give him hell. Oh, that means destroy all innocent people. That's what that means.
Maybe the them is just a terrorist.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
Why haven't you considered that?
And well,
that's what right after a terrorist attack, if the terrorists get away. If I were to say, give them hell, I mean, I don't know why you would think, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. Like, why would you think that means go and destroy all innocent people?
Yeah, because
it's like, obviously you're talking about the terrorists.
Yeah, because Gaza existed before that terrorist attack. Why didn't he say give them hell before if he wanted to aim for the children and the women?
Yeah.
He obviously didn't. He said it when some male terrorists, who stone-hearted terrorists came and did something.
By the way, everyone, little side note, this is the sort of thing I was referring to when I made a Zut video and started talking about things like that. Videos about Muhammad and Al-Zut. Videos about Muhammad prancing around in his child bride's nightie. All these kinds of issues. Muhammad sleeping with a dead woman. All these kinds of issues. I said, we're basically trained to give the benefit of the doubt. Okay, we can interpret it this way, or this way. Let's go with the best interpretation and not the worst interpretation. Even if the worst interpretation is what something sounds like with the Zut story, right? And so what I said was mainly thinking of how these guys lie, but also what they do here, where they go with the absolute worst interpretation of what anyone says in order to get people angry at the person so that they aren't really following any sort of argumentation. They just get enraged at the person. Well, it's okay, Ali Dawah, if you get to read "Give 'em hell" in a tweet and say, oh, he's talking about just massacring innocent women and children, then fine. We can interpret the Zut story as Muhammad getting banged in his butt out in the desert, right? We can. But you would insist we go with the best interpretation of the passage. And you definitely don't go with the best. You don't even go with the obvious interpretation of what Jordan Peterson said. I'm still wondering how this is the champion of consistency, as he claims to be.